Everyone. Continuing from where Raji left off, this we were fortunate to have in this meeting a lot of practitioners, people who actually work in the field. My name is Vijay Shankar. I belong to an NGO called Samaj. We work in Madhya Pradesh. We also work with farmers, and we have been working in the Narmada Valley for the last 25 years. So many people in organizations and even individual farmers who have worked in their own field and done all these things, many of that experiences came. So this slide shows a summary of the kind of experiences that we were able to listen to in the last 2 days. The experience was of incorporating the 3 M's which Raji mentioned: organic matter, microbial activity, and soil moisture. Working on these things, a lot of practitioners have come out with their own experiences which were presented, and some aspect of the presentation is to be noted. First is that these are not very small. All of them are, some of them are very small pilots, but all of them are not pilots actually. They are done at scale. Organizations like AKRSP here, DSC, many other organizations, they are Dan Foundation, many of them are working at scale with a large number of farmers. So we have experience of working with, let's say, 30,000, 40,000 farmers over a period of time on these 3 M's, and there's some evidence available, very concrete evidence available of the kind of changes it can make if these things are done, what can the change it can be made to the farmers' lives and to the ecosystem and to the overall agricultural productivity and growth itself. There are several practices that increase soil organic matter through activities such as multi-crop systems, in situ composting of crop residues, animal manuring, sheep penning, etc., conservation agriculture, mulching, green manuring, tank silt application, and others. These were all presented here. And successful examples of farms and farming agroecosystems show that cost can be significantly reduced. The second point is that while these systems are, they do deliver some results, the cost minimization aspect है, because most of these CSRA जो है locally available resources पे based है. Locally available अपने जो organic matter जो भी available है, what we call so-called waste of different systems. हमारे understanding है कि there is nothing called waste. Everything can be used. Waste of one system can be subsystem for something else. Cattle urine is supposed to be waste, but people are making things out of it. Amrit Pani, Sanjeeva, cattle urine से बनाते हैं. तो उस टाइप की चीज़ें करेंगे तो cost minimization can be achieved. That also has been demonstrated. And third point is that the food production, what happens because of all this can be healthy, nutritious. Pesticide के बारे में काफ़ी चर्चा हुई थी कल. The increasing use of pesticide and how it gets into our food and natural systems and plant systems and even human systems, and they cause diseases and so on. So ये तरीके से अगर आप काम करेंगे जो alternatives जो बताया गया है यहाँ पे, if you do work on those that level with those kind of techniques, the food that is produced can be healthy, nutritious, and quite tasty also. We had the fortune to taste some of the khana, which was fruits which were brought here, and they can be very tasty, and therefore we can have hope for a healthy human society if this kind of techniques are followed. And also there's an ecological angle, climate change, all these things are frequently discussed. Many of these techniques are eco-friendly, ecological friendly. In fact, the ecological footprint, carbon footprint on the many of these technologies are very, very low. So if they use, they can also be very helpful in reducing carbon emissions and arresting and reversing climate change. Many of these technologies have that potential. This is about the potential of what has been shown here by farmers, organizations, and practitioners in general. The second part of it is that all these things there's been a very good effort. I'm also personally happy to know that many of these people are also feeling the pressure to scientifically validate some of them. Scientific, I mean what is conventionally understood as agriculture science, through laboratories, through the conventional understanding of agriculture science. This is very important because very often, including people like us, when we do things like Sanjeev work or when we do non-NPM NPM technologies, many often scientists come and tell us, ये सब क्या कर रहे हो, छाछ स्प्रे करने से क्या होगा, उसमें तांबा डालते हो उससे क्या होगा, कैटल यूरिन आप खेत में स्प्रेड कर रहे हो उससे कुछ नहीं होने वाला है, no productivity is going to increase, etc. But a lot of people, Tarak Chatterjee presented how he tried to validate some of these claims through lab tests and so on. That evidence was also presented, meaning that these are also science. That is also one of the major themes of this workshop, कि farmer जो करता है, किसान जो करता है, वो भी एक ज्ञान है, किसान के पास भी ज्ञान है. Practice embodies knowledge. तो वो नॉलेज क्या है वो समझने के लिए कन्वेंशनल साइंस का टेक्निक यूज़ करके आप उसको वैलिडेट कर सकते हैं। संजीवक में ऐसा क्या चीज़ है जो कि वो प्लांट प्रोडक्टिविटी को हेल्प करता है। तो देयर बीन लॉट ऑफ एविडेंस प्रेजेंटेड ऑफ साइंटिफिक वैलिडेशन। ऑल टेक्निक्स आर नॉट वैलिडेटेड, बट डेफिनेटली देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी that our agriculture science wale या laboratories really take an effort, agriculture scientists take an effort and understand what the farmers are doing. A lot of scientific validation of what is being done is possible. This is not nonsense. Yesterday there was a distinction was made between science and non-science. Non-science is also equated with nonsense. So what is happening is not nonsense. People are doing sensible things and scientific तरीके से उसको validation करने का भी evidence यहाँ पे present किया गया. तो potential है, potential can be scientifically validated. And third point which I have to make, which is on the right side, is that all these technologies or the techniques, तरीके जो खेती करने का या एग्रीकल्चर मैनेजमेंट करने का तरीके जो है, they are all perfectly in line with national priorities. National priorities हमारा क्या, doubling of farm income by 2012. This is one objective. Second one is improvement of soil health. Soil health card system के बारे में काफ़ी चर्चा हुई थी कल परसों. Increasing farm productivity. People are concerned about stagnant yields, declining yields, how yield can be increased, how higher agricultural growth can be achieved. Then there is also the slogan of Har Khet Ko Pani, I mean increasing area under irrigation or under water availability, Har Khet Ko Pani milna chahiye, and promoting public health and nutrition security and enhancing fertilizer efficiency. The last point refers to fertilizer subsidy. There was a lot of discussion yesterday and day before on the size of fertilizer subsidy, which is now 75,000 to 1 lakh crores, and which is a huge burden the government itself is facing. How can you face it up? Subsidy का ridiculous aspects people have pointed out in many ways. We are subsidizing companies, not really farmers. इसको कैसे change करना है, कैसे reduce करना है, how can it be restructured, how can it be modified, ये सब policy questions हैं. तो मैं कह रहा हूँ ये policy जितने भी points which is written there, farm incomes, agriculture productivity, soil health, climate change, fertilizer subsidy, all these are national issues which people like us are also concerned about. So there is no distance between the policy maker and the practitioner. We are all on the same page. हम एक ही चीज़ के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन कैसे करना है वो तरीके में थोड़ा difference है. So attempt was here to present the different way of doing agriculture science, different way of doing practice, which embodies a certain kind of knowledge which can be scaled up through policy. That is what is presented here. Now to spell out what exactly this leads to, I request Ravindra to come. Which one?